Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. I'm Onyekuru Kasumu. Thank you for joining us as always. Our book in focus in this first segment is a documentary and literary fiction titled Maeze Returning from America, written by Gabriel Onyekuru, an educationist, school proprietor, and administrator. Now, don't let the word fiction fool you, because even though Onyekuru's book is indeed fictional, it addresses far from fictional themes. The story captured here is about a young man bred in poverty in Nigeria who ultimately achieves his dream of studying in America. Sadly, as millions of other young Africans discover in real life, America didn't turn out to be the heaven on earth he had expected, and he was forced to confront realities and challenges that tested him. The book is an appraisal of the price of clinging to honor amidst life's difficulties. It assesses social and governmental structures on two different continents, Africa and North America. Gabriel Onyekuru joins us today to review his novel. In our second segment, we'll be showing you a report on a newly released book in honor of one of Nigeria's leading legal practitioners. But for now, enjoy our chat with Gabriel as we review Maeze, Returning from America. Gabriel, nice to have you on Channels Book Club. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
And well done on your book, Maeze, Returning from America.
That's correct.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Maeze. That's correct.
Maeze, Returning from America.
You are correct.
Let's talk about the author before we talk about this book. You lived in America for a short while. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Study?
That's correct.
And then you came back to Nigeria.
That's correct.
And this is your first book, first published
That's
novel.
my first published book.
Yeah, yes. And what's the story behind the book? What inspired you to write this book?
Well, in one's life, there are stories that you want to tell to help generations. And sometimes you have no way to express them or to tell the stories. So you look for a way to bring it out to the society, to consume and get something that would also help them, so that instead of many people going through the same route, at least some people can take a divergent path.
I suspected this would be the story behind this book. but I mean, it's basically about a young man.
That's right.
Who has these dreams, this idea that America is the land of milk and honey.
That's right.
It's the El Dorado.
El Dorado.
You know, and then he goes there.
That's right.
And then is suddenly struck by reality.
Yes.
Just like millions of other young people.
That's right.
You know, who think when they go to Europe or they go to America, all the problems in the world are solved. So he goes there, he faces reality, and he has to deal with all those challenges. Then he comes back home, then he faces old and new realities. He has to deal with all those challenges.
That's right.
I mean, it's a lot, but in summary, that's the core of your story, right?
That's what it's all about. You know, as a young man, you have dreams, some very tall dreams, naive in your nature and age. And you look at life from the way you've seen it around your environment. Your parents, relatives, seniors, colleagues, you know, you just pampered and you think life is in that form. And when you watch television, see all the movies, you know. Hollywood, you know, America is described in a way that people think everything is just at your beck and call, and that's it. But the story is different. So what do I contribute, having gone there and come back? And this is where the inspiration is coming from. I've lived there, and I have interacted with both classmates and general society, and I've tried to come back to my own country. And I look at it, what can I really put out there to help other people so that they can understand the true position? America is a beautiful place, no doubt about that. There are a lot of things to learn, and I thank God every day that I had that opportunity. But then it's not what we think as young people. So Maeze, returning from America, is a story, is just a story of a Nigerian growing up, childhood, adulthood, work life. So I try to weld the story in a way that somebody can understand it. It's a documentary journal, a fiction though, but we try to make people see. Those who read through this book would say that it gives a true depiction of what actually life is all about, both here in Africa, Nigeria in Africa, and there in the United States.
Yeah. In your book, the realities were so different. I mean, the reality was so different from his expectation.
Yes.
It was almost like the way you described it. I don't know whether you intended to describe it that way, but the way it came across was almost like heaven and hell. I mean, in a way, I mean.
Thank you. That's truly the picture.
That's truly the picture.
That's truly the picture. In America, any immigrant, anybody living in another country has a lot of issues to deal, challenges to deal with. And coping with the adjustment in our different cultures is a big issue. The students, the international students, which I was, have a lot of adjustment problems that they encounter. Even in English speaking, the accent is different. It takes a lot for you to cope. Even in going to the restaurant or going to the grocery store is different from what we do here. The technologies, they're so advanced. And when we live here, we go with, as a young man who was living with a dream, you go with the dream that when you get there, you begin to punch things and things begin to work. Sometimes, even to make a telephone call is not exactly the way it is over here in Nigeria. So it will take time. Those adjustment issues, coupled with the problem of financial issues too, because no matter what amount you're given here, you are expected to just spend that money if you have. But if you're going to go there with the intention that you're going to find a job, it's very different. That is different. The immigration services there approach these things differently. Living life itself, even on the street, is different. So